Hello backpackers, this is Juan from Juan Backpacks. I'm here today with another first look at a piece of gear that I just got in the mail today. It's a sleeping bag liner. And the sleeping bag liner that I just got in the mail today, here's the stuff sack with the name on it. It's the Sea to Summit Thermolite Reactor Compact Plus. Wham, that's a lot, that's a mouthful. So I'm gonna do a first look. Remember, my first looks aren't a full review, right? Because I haven't had it in the field enough to really give you a review and assessment. But what it is I'm going to talk about some of the features of this piece of gear and what kind of attracted me to the piece of gear. Like, why did I want to bring it into my kit? The second thing I'll talk about really is some of the use cases for it related to those features. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my concerns moving forward, like what concerns do I have about this piece of gear? And then later on, once I use it in the field, which should be within the next week, I will come back and let you know how the piece of gear performed, and I will let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this Reactor Compact Plus. It's actually listed as it's a sleeping bag liner listed by the company as something you would use if you're a cold sleeper or a woman, which I guess sometimes that's one and the same. I got it because it seems to have a pretty good R value added to a sleeping bag, and I wanted to add some R value to my 20-degree bag, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So some of the specs here. Basically, the Reactor is supposed to add about 20 degrees to your bag when you use the liner. So I don't know, sometimes that's debatable. I feel like if I can get at least 10 more degrees out of my current 20-degree bag, I'm going to be in the range where I want to be for winter camping and backpacking in Pennsylvania. On my scale, the sleeping bag liner is 8.6 ounces by itself, and then it's 8.9 ounces with the stuff sack. On their website, on Sea to Summit's website, it says the Reactor plus compact plus the stuff sack is 9.3 ounces. So, you know, let's go with the heavier amount, I guess. The bag is mummy shaped, as you can see here as I stretch it out. Here's the top of it. So it's mummy shaped, and it is made of, or it's 6 foot long, which is plenty for me. This is the short version. There are longer versions. So it's for somebody up to 6 foot, or about 5'7", they say. It is 35 inches wide. I've got a pretty wide shoulders, and I've got a wide chest. I'm probably in the range of like 42, 43, 44. And I'm fitting really nicely in this, and I don't feel constricted in any way. So it really fits well, even if you got some broader shoulders. The fabric, as you can see, it's kind of see-through, and it's made of this stuff they call thermolite. You can see probably my arm in the background through this. So it is very light, and it's see-through, and it's stretchy too. So that, again, helps so you're not really constricted and feel confined in the bag, because you can actually move around in it a little bit. The fibers of the thermolite fabric that's made out of are hollow, so obviously that's going to trap air. Trapped air is insulative, and so it's going to make it warmer than just any, you know, than many different materials. So the weight to the warmth ratio is pretty darn good on this bag liner. The other thing you'll notice here, as I kind of show you this again, is the orange fabric. That fabric is a little bit thicker, and it's at the foot box, and it's at the core of your body, like basically at your chest. And so that's done just to make sure it protects a little bit more insulation around the core of your body and in your feet, where you would tend to maybe get cold. So those are some of the features of the sleeping bag liner. Now, as I was thinking about picking this liner up, which I did, there were some goals I had in mind in terms of my overall backpacking kit. The first one is I wanted to do more winter backpacking, and to do that with my 20-degree bag, I needed maybe either to purchase another bag that would be like, say, 0 degree, just to be kind of on the safe side of things, or find a way to increase the R value of my, or the, you know, the rating of my current quilt that I use, which is a down quilt. And so that's why I decided to pick this up. Again, I feel like if I can get at least 10 degrees, even though they say it could add 20 degrees. So if I can get at least 10 degrees, I'm down into 10-degree, range for the bag. And I think that's fine considering I'm backpacking in Pennsylvania, and that's probably going to be pretty darn good for most situations that I would be wanting to backpack in and sleep overnight in the woods in. So the other thing that I wanted to do, one of the other reasons I was bringing it into my kit, is that I'm thinking that maybe because it is pretty warm, I've actually kind of slipped into it and kind of laid in it for a little bit, and it definitely, you can feel the warmth building up. And I was hoping that maybe during nice summer, days and nights, in the heart of summer, that I could just use this alone at 9.3 ounces. It would be awesome just to be able to throw the liner inside my backpack, no other bag, and just use that to sleep overnight. And then the third thing that I was thinking about and bringing this into my kit would be to keep my current quilt that I use cleaner when I'm on longer trips and it's going to be colder where I'd need the liner. I don't think I'd bring the liner, that extra 9 ounces, just to keep my down quilt from getting dirty, because I'll deal with that and wash it or whatever I need to down the road. But if it is cold enough and I use this, I mean, that would be awesome if it keeps it a little bit cleaner. But it's not one of the primary reasons I really thought about this. So some of my concerns moving forward as I'm going to be using this piece of gear, which will be this probably coming weekend. Number one is durability. I mean, obviously it's a pretty thin material. You can kind of see through it, and it's kind of stretchy. And I worry about, abrasion resistance. Will it snag easy? Will it, wear? Will it get holes poked in it easily? Those kind of things, just in general use. The build quality of it, the stitching and everything is awesome. I mean, the quality is obviously high quality as far as the way it's put together, so I'm not really concerned about that, but it's just the fabric that I'm kind of thinking that may or may not hold up in terms of durability. The other thing that kind of I'm going to watch for is just bringing that extra weight. I mentioned this earlier, but if I probably got a 10-degree or 0-degree bag, quilt, I could probably get away with less weight than what my 20-degree bag plus this is. I'd probably be, a few ounces lighter. And so I think about that a little bit, but I'm not sure with the amount of winter backpacking that I'm going to be doing or plan to do in the future, that I really need a dedicated bag just for that. And that's why it was a cost savings thing, where I could spend, between $60 and $70 on this instead of $200 plus on a 0-degree down bag, and get the same effect. Now, if I was going winter camping a lot, probably backpacking long distances in the winter, then I'd probably want a dedicated bag that would be lighter. But overall, I think carrying this, plus carrying the liner plus my down bag for what I plan to do in the future is going to be pretty darn good. It's going to be pretty spot on for me. So that is my first look at the Sea to Summit Reactor Compact Plus. And I will be back with more of a review once I use it in the field. But until then, get out there and do some backpacking and see some cool stuff, and I will see you on the next video.